Hello, class. These are our H2B informal geometry notes. So remember, section 8.2 was about angles for polygons. We had both interior and exterior angles. And so the last time we did notes, we were looking at our interior angles, our inside. Now we are looking at exterior angles. So hopefully you did some kind of an activity at the beginning of class, and what we learned was the sum of our exterior angles for every single shape is always 360 degrees. So if you still have this notes page, you might go through and add that information in. So it's 360 for every single one, even our n-gon at the end, because as the angles get bigger inside, or I guess as there's more of them, right, then the ones outside get smaller and smaller and smaller, and so it doesn't matter how many you have, it's still just going to be 360. So we had that formula for the sum of our interior angles. So our interior angles, let's go, I guess, and look at the bottom instead. Sum of our interior angles was we took our number of sides minus 2 times 180 to look at all those triangles, those 180-degree triangles we made up. When we looked at our one angle formula, we took that thing we came up with here, our sum of the interior, we divided by the number of sides, but our sum of the exterior angles is always just 360. And again, hopefully you saw this during the activity we did. So we're just going to add some information onto these notes. So if I am looking at the exterior angle of a polygon, if that's what I'm talking about, what I'm doing is I'm really just extending it from one side. So that means I could take like this side of my triangle and extend it. And then this right here is my exterior angle. Or if I took this shape right here, looks like a parallelogram, and I extend it, this is my exterior angle. So you're just extending one side. And it's interesting because I could take this same shape and I could extend this side instead, and I'd get a different exterior angle. Right? So it's kind of interesting. It's like you could go around the shape this way, or you could go around the shape this way. So there's like two different, depending on how you draw them, they can look very different. So here's our exterior angle theorem for all polygons, the sum of the exterior angles, and we're calling that SE. For S for sum, E for exterior is 360 degrees. Formula SE equals 360. So in this case, I'm going to go through and number these guys, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. We would say angle 1 plus the measure of angle 2 plus measure of angle 3, measure angle 4, measure angle 5. All of those together are going to equal 360 degrees. So in our first example, we're going to be figuring out, let's see, a missing angle, this angle X right here. So it doesn't matter how many sides. It's kind of the cool thing about this. All we're going to do is add up all the ones we have, right? And plus our X, and those are going to equal, oh, I guess we've got X in more than one spot. We've got a 1X, 8X, and a 4X. But all of these angles together are going to equal 360. So I'm going to start with my X's, 1X plus 8X plus 4X. And as long as I'm going around my shape, I'm going to keep going around. Plus 42 plus 50 plus 45 plus 54. All of those angles together are going to equal 360. So let's go ahead and simplify our x's. 1x and 8x and 4x. 8 and 4 is 12 plus 1 is 13x. And then over here, let's see, we've got some 50s. That makes 100, 140, 180, and 11. So that's going to be a 191 equals 360. So from here, it's just a two-step equation. We need to subtract 191 on both sides. Let's see, 169. And then our last step is dividing by 13. And so x is equal to 13. So on this next one, we want to find the measure of one exterior angle. So we know all of those exterior angles together when we add them all up is going to be 360. If this is regular, they're all going to be the same. So let's see how many sides we have. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And I say sides, but really what we're talking about is angles, right? So what that's telling us is that this angle here, this exterior angle here, this one here, because it's regular, those exterior angles are going to be equal as well. And so if we know all of them together make 360, well, we just need to divide by how many angles there are to figure out the measure of 1. So I'm just going to take 360 and that's the sum of my exterior angles, and I'm going to divide by the number of sides. And we have 6 here because there are 6 sides or 6 angles, right? I think I'm going to write or angles. And so 360 divided by 6 is going to be 60 degrees. So each of our exterior angles will be 60 degrees for this polygon, for our hexagon actually, right? Hexagon. That's all that we have for notes today. They're pretty short. If you have any questions, as always, make sure you ask them